Hi everyone, David here with a different kind of video today I've decided to make on a whim for those photographers who may be pining for the latest device. So yesterday I shared this photo on Instagram. It's a 5-minute long exposure captured with the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the Even Longer app, and fellow iPhone photographer Andy commented, "That's a really beautiful shot. Shows once again how good the Even Longer / iPhone 13 combination is. I do get rather jealous though, as I know it ain't gonna happen for me." And I'm thinking, Andy mate, don't be jealous because the iPhone 13 Pro Max contributed next to nothing to this photo. And by that I mean I could have used any iPhone that can run Even Longer and my result would have been the same. So to prove it, I went back to Sulphur Keys and took a few more 5-minute long exposures. The first was with the 13 Pro Max, and the second was with my humble first generation iPhone SE. At one time, this little SE was my main shooting device for both photo and video all around the world. These days though, it can barely hold a charge, and I only bring it out of retirement for just this kind of occasion. So here's the raw, unedited results from both phones. Same composition, slightly different lighting due to the time taken to capture them both, and which do you think is which? How about with my edits? Which was captured with Apple's brand new flagship device that has the best camera ever in an iPhone, and which was captured with the 6-year-old SE with its tiny little camera? Did you get it right? And if so, let me know what gave it away. For me, even when looking at these on my 32-inch Ultra HD display, it was only the fact that the 13 Pro Max has a wider lens did I have any idea which was which. Going back to the originals again, if you zoom in to 200%, you can see there's more noise in the SE's sky, and this is probably in large part down to the fact that its sensor and lens are less efficient. Makes sense. But looking at the buildings, I think the SEs look better. To me, the details and textures look sharper and more defined. And this is where the 13 Pro Max is actually working against itself. You see, because it has a much faster chip, the 13 Pro Max can average a lot more frames than the SE over the same amount of time. Here it averaged exactly 1,500 over 5 minutes compared to the 1,125 averaged by the SE. And as I've mentioned before, the more frames averaged, the more noise reduction you get. But once you reach 1,000 frames, the noise reduction benefits only increase by a fraction of a percent. Nevertheless, a byproduct of frame averaged noise reduction is a loss of perceived sharpness and local contrast. And that's what seems to have happened here with the 13 Pro Max. And this isn't just my theory, the creator of Even Longer himself, Mario, actually agreed with me. Although it did take us a couple of hours of deliberation over the issue. Mario and I really like to be sure. I also went back to the same spot this one was taken and I tried to recreate it with the SE, but there was literally no wind whatsoever, so the water was too still to produce the same result as the 13 Pro Max. But again, look at the overall quality of the images. Finally, out of curiosity, I took 2 regular old single RAW photos, one with each phone, just to see what the difference would be. Do you want to see the results? Does one of these photos look like it was captured with a 6-year-old device? I'm not even going to tell you which is which, and that's the exact point of this video. No, I'm not trying to say the SE can compete with the 13 Pro Max in every situation, but when you're a RAW shooter in decent light with an ISO as low as possible, you definitely won't see the kind of image quality improvements you might be expecting from the hype around the latest iPhone. Especially not with a noise killer like Even Longer around. And from what I see on Instagram, you seem to be doing just fine with your iPhone 7, Andy. Seriously, these are some really engaging shots, dude. You inspire me, you make me want to just jump in my car, just like I am now, and go out and travel the UK and find locations like these. In fact, I know where you take these photos. You take these photos in Cornwall. When I'm down in Cornwall, dude, I need to hit you up. You need to show me some of these locations so I can try and replicate what you're doing, you know. Great artists steal, right? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay curious, and I will see you in the next one. Back around. Improvements you might be expecting from the latest hype surrounding the latest iPhone. But when you're... Look at me, I'm a dog, I can bark. But when you're a raw shooter,